here we are on episode 152 of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast, recorded on August 15th, 2021. On the podcast today, we have someone who just booked a several $1,000 non-refundable vacation to beautiful Afghanistan, Andrew Clark.
Hey, so I have just been referring to myself as a lord, and I put all my documents that have been forged in Afghanistan as referring to me as a lord. So if the Taliban kidnap me, they'll keep me alive longer because they'll think that I'll have some use.
Ah.
I think it's a foolproof plan.
Tangent immediately. You've had your finger on the pulse of this, more so than I or Ryan, I think. What's going on? What's your impression of all of this?
So remember how in like 2003 and the United States, said, like, I don't know if it was 2003 or if it was like in 2002, but anyway, we invaded Afghanistan.
Who knows?
Yeah, fucked up the Taliban. George Bush stood on the deck of a aircraft carrier with a sign that said "Mission Accomplished." Mm-hmm. And they're like, the Taliban is gone, and then pulled out a lot of our forces in Afghanistan, even though they famously gave out that message, whatever it said, something along the lines of like, go home, fighters of the Taliban, go home, wait for our moment. And the United States left, and then they came out of the woodwork and got right back to where they were again. Yeah. And then we were there for another like 18 years, doing a little bit at a time to the point where they're like, yeah, the Taliban's pretty much gone. There's a government in place. There is elections. It's whatever. But it like there's a semblance of a government here. And Joe Biden's like, well, now it's as good a time as any to pull out. And then we weren't even done pulling out of Afghanistan. We started 2 weeks ago. We're 2 weeks away from being fully pulled out. And it took the Taliban like 10 days to literally take over the entire country. Not in the way that ISIS took over a lot of Iraq and Syria, where they just had territory that they were occupying and there was like fighting going on. They just popped out of the ground and said, we're in charge now. And the government surrendered like a couple of hours ago. And the government that we set up in Afghanistan, and we did set up that government, isn't there anymore. The president fled the country. They're evacuating all foreigners. The Taliban said, no, go ahead. Go to the airport. Maybe we'll let you through. Maybe not. We decide. So yeah, it's all bad. It was surprisingly not nearly as violent as I thought it would be.
I mean,
because
there was no one to resist them.
The majority, well, who is them? Let's be honest. Gonna go ahead and say there's probably a majority in Afghanistan that would prefer a Taliban-run government to an American puppet regime.
The
them is the Afghanistani people, like, by and large. There's absolutely like plenty of people that oppose them. There's plenty of people that oppose the American regime as well. There's a reason that it caught on like wildfire, and it's that, well, they enjoy plenty of support in that country.
I would say even like the majority of the Afghanistan population doesn't like the Taliban, in the same way that like if China took over America and then left after 20 years and Donald Trump was the president, a lot of people would be like, you know what, we don't like it, but it is not a foreign power occupying our country. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Afghanistan is the graveyard of empires for a reason.
Yeah, it is three for three, literally.
We keep fucking doing shit like that, and everyone knows how it's gonna end when we start it, but yet keep trying.
And that man who is free to keep trying is Free Ryan. Yeah.
Free Guy. That's a movie that exists.
We'll get into it. We saw that today.
Yeah.
That was
Saw that an hour ago.
That was an interesting choice for first movie in theaters well, we're not post-pandemic, but since the pandemic started.
No, it's as bad as it's ever been.
Yeah. And then last, but certainly not least, is me, Lucas the Writer. I'm at the point in my marathon training regimen where my nipples are starting to feel it, and that's concerning.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's a thing that, like, all marathon runners report, and I am not a marathon runner. I never got remotely close to running distances like that. The longest run I've ever gone on in my entire life was, like, 8 miles long. Mm-hmm. And I've done that, like, maybe 4 or 5 times ever. But, like, during those runs, has never, ever been a moment where my nipples have been uncomfortable. And I understand that, like, maybe that's not a thing that happens until maybe, like, 15 miles in. But it's almost like, I would assume, in the same way that, like, if you run a marathon, it's like your legs get really tired. If I run a shorter distance, my legs get tired. Not to the same degree, but I can feel like, okay, these parts of my legs hurt. And 20 miles from now, they'd probably hurt a lot worse. But if there is no pain in my nipples, I just can't understand why or how the nipple chafing happens in long distance running. Just not a thing I can comprehend.
Yeah, I don't. It really does seem like a tearing situation where until you're like sub 13 miles, you are totally fine. Pristine nipples. The greatest nipples you ever seen. No issues. But then the second you cross that threshold, buckle up. Your athletic shirt might as well be a razor blades. You're done.
Yeah, I have had some nipple chafing in my life. Never been a runner. Just like randomly during practices and stuff like that. It's always been like synthetic shirts, I've noticed. Like cotton I never really had any problems with, but whenever I wore like anything synthetic, it felt like it was leading to that sort of thing.
See, it's always been the opposite for me because, like, if I wear a cotton shirt, I know we've had this argument before, and I really I don't want to do it again. But, like, if I've ever worn, like, a cotton shirt, like what I'm wearing right now, if I start sweating in it, that shit sticks to me so hard, and it's really uncomfortable. But, like, synthetic shirts just don't. Like, if they get wet, they just don't stick to me. I don't think
it was sticking that was causing the chafing. I think it was just literally just rubbing in a weird way, and my nipples didn't like it, apparently. Can't tell you why.
I'm going to go through so many Band-Aids in the next couple of weeks. Not looking forward to it.
And you're sideways again, Lucas.
Yeah.
I can't hold my phone vertically the entire... Why doesn't it correct that? That's weird.
It looks like it is.
How do I rotate a PDF?
We're
22 minutes in.
You got like 5 minutes of content. Is there a button that like spins it?
I got the 3 dots, others, in call, share, screen, show captions, port, blah, blah. Settings. Hold on. No, there is not. Maybe.
How do I turn my camera? Always shows up 90 degrees.
It's also weird because you guys are horizontally oriented. Yeah.
I'm in widescreen. Lucas is vertical. Ryan is in square. On mine.
Huh.
I'm a square?
Yeah.
I'm the same size for me.
Weird.
Okay. Now we're good.
All right.
Now we got this.
Podcast time.
I guess.
All the snaps for that. All the snaps for fixing that error. I have no clue what we were talking about, but I know that we're going to talk about news of the week. Going forward, I hate tech issues. I'm sorry, everyone. Letting you down.
No, it's okay. It's not you. We've all been there.
Although, for as awful as I am, I think it's safe to say that Activision Blizzard and things at that company are worse as more fallout from their culture of sexism continues to surface. Diablo 4 game director Luis Barriga, lead designer Jesse McCree, who is the namesake of McCree in Overwatch, and World of Warcraft designer Jonathan LeCraft were let go from Blizzard on Wednesday.
Yeah, did you see that there was like a big thing where like Overwatch fans were like, yo, rename the character. We're going to refer to him as another name. Just erase that he was ever there. And I can't think that the company would be too opposed to that. Just pretend that none of it ever happened. Which I'm all for the community being like, yeah, let's not fucking call this dude McCree anymore. But I think the company would be like, yeah, let's not. Who? McCree who? No one by that name ever worked here.
This character has always been named Bitch Cassidy and always will.
Bitch Cassidy.
I'm ripping that off from Twitter, but also that maybe is the best thing I saw on Twitter this past week. Yeah.
Fucking McCree. Why would you ever name a character after a dude? Like, come on now. That could only end poorly.
Right? Well, I mean, unless they've died. But even then, yeah.
Yeah, no, man. That could also be bad.
Yeah, fuck. And then just to keep piling on, because holy shit, there's a lot of shit. It's come out that members of Activision Blizzard's quality assurance department are significantly underpaid compared to the industry standard, and that LGBTQIA staff, specifically trans staff, are discriminated against. Fun. Good company. Healthy place to work.
I imagine that it's only focused on trans staff because trans is in theory the only category that you can actively avoid during like a job search, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can transition post hiring date. Mm-hmm. So like that's the only way you could actually get hired by these pieces of shit. Like if they thought that you were lesbian or gay or bisexual or anything like that, then they would just not hire you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that does feed into specifically how they've been abused in their time working there, where it's no matter what they do, seemingly to say, hey, this is my current name, these are my pronouns, please refer to me as such. All correspondence is dead naming them. And that's...
Yeah.
I don't even know how that happens without an effort going into setting a system up that way.
Well, it's ridiculous. Just because these are gamers, Lucas. These people are professional slur sayers. Like it's literally how they were raised. Like that's the culture. It's kind of like, I don't know, like gamers. I like video games, but like if you identify as a gamer, if you work your way up to like a higher up organization of people that make video games, a toxic culture if there ever was one, there's just no fucking way that you aren't like a big racist, homophobic, anti-trans piece of shit. It's just, I'd say like 90% of like the industry members are like that. Because if you're, here's the thing, if you're a member of the community, or I should say like the LGBTQIA community, and you're trying to work your way into the game industry, you have very small chances of actually doing so, because it just in the same way that Ryan said, like, they're just not going to hire you. Like, if they had people that weren't pieces of shit doing the hiring, yeah, like, eventually the big slur users would be, like, overwhelmed. But, like, they can maintain their stranglehold on the industry by just not letting other people in.
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't know, even more generally than that, I've seen some discussion go around regarding all of this fallout as the employees at Activision Blizzard should unionize now and then fight for that, use that collective organization to fight for a better work environment. And these are all programmers, and like, maybe this is painted with a broad brush, but like the average programmer collectively, on average, out of all of the programmers that I know, they have some political and moral obligations, objections to something like a union. Like, that's not that's not what they're jumping to, in my experience.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this, but like, I'm gonna fucking say it anyway. Someone at my job recently suggested to me that we should like start a unionization effort. I'm like, in this fucking industry? No. We won't have enough support from the employees. Like, obviously the employers are never going to let that happen, but like, we're not going to have enough support from the employees. Like, these people won't want to join unions. They're opposed to it.
Mm-hmm. It's fucked up. It's just fucked. Alright, in equally fucked news, lead game designer on Respawn Entertainment's Apex Legends, Daniel Klein, was let go from the EA-owned company when deeply racist and sexist remarks he made in 2007 resurfaced. He would have been 27 at the time of making these posts.
Yeah. It's bad enough when it's like, yeah, some 14-year-old high school kid tweeted some dumb shit that was really harmful, and then they like found out 10 years later. But like, yeah, no, this man was an adult. This man was a full-ass adult. He
did the whole different time. Like, I've grown so much since then, but it's not. I'm trying to find the exact. Some weird, like, eugenicist shit, even where it's like the X chromosome is the moron chromosome. Is an exact quote from one of his blog posts, and some deeply racist stuff against black people. Yeah, that was from an adult. That was from somebody who was older than we are now, and he's trying to use the "I've grown" defense.
My younger self, yeah. It's like, bro, this is 14 years ago. You're 41 now. You were 27 then.
Yeah, your opinions are fully formed at that point.
He couldn't even use like this was a joke thing. He even said, I don't believe these things anymore, which means he wholeheartely supported it 14 years ago. When he was, a whole ass adult.
I mean,
so,
I don't want to give this guy any credit, but like, we'll get to some other people showing their ass in public, and at least he comped to it, At least he's like, yeah, that was wrong. I'm sorry. But
I mean, he said it was wrong because he got found out. Like,
also true.
There's no evidence. Again, this is a gamer man. Like, there's no evidence to suggest that this man is like a progressive dude.
Yeah, that's important to keep in mind. If like his opinions had actually changed as he'd gotten older, at some point you would have thought, hey, so I've said some really fucked up stuff. We should get in front of this. I owe it to people to make a public apology before this gets out of hand. But no, couldn't do that. Didn't even think to do that, probably.
His bio still says social justice Wendigo.
The fuck does that even mean?
He's like making fun of quote unquote social justice warriors.
No, I understand, but like,
Yeah.
Oh, that has big. I identify as an attack helicopter energy. I don't like that.
Yeah. Which was also, the Activision thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Moving into the other category, Crunchyroll and Funimation are now both owned by Sony after Crunchyroll was purchased from AT&T for $1.175 billion. How this is going to affect their business isn't clear, but they are now being referred to as two brands within one company.
Yay, are you happy?
you got what you wanted. Anime's mainstream.
I don't know. Okay, maybe if anime is really mainstream, then cool. It'd be great if anime could get like as much public scrutiny as any television show on cable, but I don't. There's functionally a monopoly in the Western anime industry right now, and the best alternatives we get are fucking Anime Tube, which isn't an actual alternative. So, not great. We'll see what they do. We'll see if, like, you know what? If they do this a cool way and they're like, yeah, if you have a subscription to either Crunchyroll or Funimation, you can watch it on both of their platforms for no additional money. That'd be rad. That's not what's going to happen, though, but that'd be rad.
Or like some giant Sony family bundle where you get like PlayStation TV, PlayStation Now, Crunchyroll, Funimation, all that shit. And it's like $20 a month. I can imagine some people would like that, but
as somebody with both a Funimation and a Crunchyroll subscription, it would be great if I could watch both of their catalogs for less money. But that is almost assuredly not going to be how this plays out.
The problem is that Sony's not Disney.
Yeah.
So Sony doesn't have fucking deep pocketbooks. They can't just say, fuck it. Like, we don't need money. We need users. They can't say that, so.
I will say that it would be rad if something similar happened to when they had a partnership until I think it was I want to say Funimation was bought by Sony originally. I forget who they used to be owned by, but they had an agreement where you were able to watch both platforms subbed anime on Crunchyroll with just a Crunchyroll subscription and all dubbed anime on Funimation with just a Funimation subscription. So you did get some of that. You did get some of the other party's content on one of the platforms, but yeah, I'd be shocked if they had even that consumer friendly of a deal post restructuring. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, an update from a story mentioned last week. The conservative Digimon writer really is alt-right because he won't stop posting about the situation. The man literally cannot just shut the fuck up. He now claims that making the antagonist political correctness was not intended to be political.
Yeah.
I don't see how you could somehow misconstrue that as political.
Right.
I mean, he very obviously said, I don't want your politics in my media. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. What more do you guys want? I mean, he said it.
Yeah, I don't know how there's anything political about political correctness. Like, just the name sounds like nothing there at all.
No.
It could possibly be political.
Yeah. You guys are really reaching here.
Right? And I know this is a little petty, but yeah, I'm not going to call out the writer for this because maybe this is part of the editorial process. I don't know what the back end of Anime News Network is like, but they're a little toothless in this article. I see them using overseas criticism to frame this writer's response when, man, I know people in Japan weren't cool with this shit either. Adding a little bit to the narrative there. Also, he never apologized, like this article said. He said he was bummed out by the situation, but doesn't regret the material of his work, doesn't I no longer believe in these opinions.
I'm sorry if I offended anyone.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm sorry that there's a divide in the community. I'm sorry you motherfuckers don't agree with me.
I'm sorry you got a problem with this. Yeah.
I'm sorry
and of course,
you have a problem with it.
And of course, his quote-unquote apology opens with, "A lot of people have defended me and told me not to apologize." Fuck off. Fuck all of this. Do we have any memes this week? Because apparently we did not have a lot of news.
No.
I've not seen any continuous memes really this weekend, other than, there's the whole My Fall Plans, the Delta variant thing that everyone's posting about. That's not really a meme, though.
Yeah.
That's just like a how it started, how it's going type thing.
No, it's a new interpretation of an old format.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. All right, in that case, we are headed into the breakouts. What are you guys checking out? I've been talking a lot, and my throat is killing me. Not COVID. Not COVID.
We could talk about Rick and Morty.
That's group chat.
Oh.
Breakouts.
I finished Invincible. Took me like 2 days. That's kind of what happens when you take a couple of days off and have nothing to do.
How does the full series compare to YouTube clips?
Well, first let me ask Ryan if he actually know. How far along are you? I'll try to.
I'm not any farther.
Oh.
I'm like.
Did you
5 episodes in?
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't catch up, so I am not done.
Okay.
I started watching it before you did.
Yeah. I don't blame you for not finishing the show. It's just I did, because like I said, I had nothing really to do. I woke up one morning, I'm like, I'm gonna watch Invincible, and I watched 2 episodes, had breakfast, watched another one, did some other shit, ended the day with 2 more episodes, finished the series the next day by noon. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm trying to think. What would have... So, episode 5, that was the battle with, the mob boss, Machine Head and his people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It ended on... The most recent ending of an episode was, that Machine Head fight versus... What's his name? And
what's his name and the other guy?
Invincible and what's his name? And then
I think he goes by Titan.
Yeah, Titan, that's right. And then the Guardians of the Globe showed up, got their ass fucking kicked by this lion dude, who then just dipped, and that's the only reason that they were even able to survive the fight.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought the Guardians of the Globe bit it at this point in the series.
Yeah, they made a new Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah. They turned the Teen Titans and a handful of others into the new Guardians of the Globe.
The Teen Team.
We know what they were.
We're not ripping off the Teen Titans, just like the Guardians of the Globe isn't ripping off the Avengers of the Justice League.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is this show doing bad superhero names as a bit like The Boys does? Because the Teen Team is just the most phonetically unappealing thing I think I've ever heard.
They're definitely tongue-in-cheek with some of the bad names.
Like the lizard.
Like there's a running joke. Yeah, they keep talking about the Lizard League.
Like a dude with a snake gun that turns people into snakes.
They're the stereotypical, like, just, poster child bad guys that just show up out of nowhere. Yeah. That was the last full episode, but I'm like halfway through the one after that where they're like, he's like recovering and stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah. Next episode. Let's see. Hard Knocks has a new episode today. I watched the premiere last week, which was interesting.
I have no clue what Hard Knocks is.
Oh, well, you could. No, probably not. But it's a show about during the preseason and training camp, NFL Films follows a team.
Nope. Okay, I remember this now. Okay,
yeah.
A team that was bad the year before, as they.
You talked to me extensively. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
this year it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, I feel like it's the Cowboys like 20% of the time. Like
I don't remember it being the Cowboys before.
I think this is like the 4th or 5th time it's been the Cowboys.
Well, it's season 17. And they're a big market, and Jerry Jones apparently likes it. They were on All or Nothing, the Cowboys, which is also an NFL Films show, but that one follows them throughout the entirety of the season. Yeah, it's fun. Jerry Jones at one point is eating a McGriddle, and he takes a salt shaker and fucking pours more salt onto his McGriddle.
That was the hardest shit I've ever fucking heard.
This man's 78 years old and a billionaire.
It's because he's fucking preserving himself. He's a goddamn mummy.
Yeah. That fucked with me, man. When they left that in so intentionally, like
Jesus Christ.
And he approved the cut and was just like, yeah, I see nothing wrong. There's nothing weird about this, about me pouring salt on a just sodium-laced McDonald's breakfast item. Like, good God. So that was the highlight of week 1, I think. We got more.
Okay, Andrew, it looks like this will be the 3rd time the Dallas Cowboys have been covered.
I looked it up. I was going to say that, yeah. And it's the last time was like 2008 or 2009. I was wrong. I thought they had been in there another time a couple of years ago.
I think you're thinking of when they were on All or Nothing.
Yeah, I think.
Which is also an NFL show, so it makes sense. So, yeah, that's what I'm... That and Invincible. And then playing Madden still. Having a good old time.
What would the Hard Knocks coverage of your Madden team look like?
My team would never be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
If you have a winning record, you're ineligible for Hard Knocks. Like,
the
point of the show is that there are teams below 500 last season that are like, they had rough times and they're trying to rebuild and stuff that.
And it's all the way from like the Cleveland Browns after their winless season to the fucking, I think last year was the Rams and the Chargers, 2 teams that were like not good, but like not bad. And like the Cowboys won like 5 or 6 games last year.
Well, the Cowboys would have won the division easily if Dak Prescott hadn't gotten hurt. Like they're also like they weren't a bad team. They were just literally like the most important player went down.
Wait, why haven't historically bad teams like the Jets or... Okay, well, the Giants just got bad recently, but they got really bad fast, or the Giants been on something like this?
They have. I mean, yeah, like Andrew said, the Browns. The Browns are literally the most historically bad team.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think they're just looking for the biggest storylines and like
that's fair.
An interesting thing. People are now clamoring for the Vikings because the fucking Vikings is like an absolute shit show right now.
Do you see like, Mike Zimmer's like post? His fucking Mike Zimmer hates his life right now.
No, he hates Minnesota. He hates the Vikings. Yeah. He hates everything. Like he's rapidly becoming one of my favorite coaches because he hates the Vikings as much as I do.
And he's the goddamn coach. He's like, this is a fucking nightmare. My goddamn quarterback is an anti-vaxxer, and he's basically convinced all the other quarterbacks not to get vaccinated. So one of them got sick and the whole goddamn quarterback room went down. It's like, we have no fucking quarterbacks because of Kirk fucking Cousins. And then, yeah, he's calling out his team all the time. Like, yeah, fucking bad punt coverage, no defense, safeties suck, couldn't get any play action going, offensive line didn't give a shit, quarterbacks had no idea where they were. He was just ripping his whole own team apart. The goddamn losers.
God,
So that would be epic if they would have gotten the Vikings this year.
If you look at recent pictures of Mike Zimmer, there is just a burning darkness in this man.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer's hardcore.
He's always been this way.
He's a very good NFL defensive coach, and he's got some shit going on in his brain and his heart.
I mean, considering how like fucking mediocre the Vikings have been their entire existence, like the fact that he made them kind of perennial playoff a perennial playoff team is nothing to sneeze at. Like, I think he's actually a pretty solid head coach.
Yeah.
Maybe not the guy that's going to win you a Super Bowl, but yeah, solid head coach. He's always been this angry. It's just usually it was directed at like a specific, like a kicker who missed a field goal, or like, you know, one guy that made a mistake, but because his entire team is just a fuck up right now, he can't even deal, man. He's exploding.
At least you could be angry at God if this were a situation totally out of your control. But no, this is his team just voluntarily collapsing around him. What do you do? What do you do as Noah if the animals just start pulling the ark apart?
The animals are just like, we don't believe in the ark. We can swim. Like, we're good at swimming.
Dude,
like,
I'm strong. I can survive the current. What the fuck do you mean I need to stay on the ark?
Exactly. Like fucking otters and shit start pulling the boat apart, and like all the animals that can't swim are like, what the fuck are you doing, man? This is so fucked.
Dude, hardly anyone ever dies of drowning ever. But we're surrounded by water. It's because they stay above the water, you fuckhead.
Oh god, what animal would Captain Kirk be in this scenario? Pulling apart the boards.
He would definitely be someone that thinks he's a really good swimmer.
Oh god.
Who would it be?
Yeah, what's an animal that thinks that they can swim but they can't?
He's like a moose. Yeah, he's a moose. Like, he's like, yeah, dude, like, I can swim across the river sometimes. I'm totally fine. I can't drown. And then after like 20 minutes, man, my legs are getting pretty tired.
Yeah, oh shit. I don't know if I'm cut out for this, man.
Why didn't you guys warn me?
What would his equivalent to the surrounding himself in plexiglass rather than get vaccinated be for pulling apart the ports on the ark?
Nah, dude, I got these water floaties. It'll be fine.
He's gonna strap his fucking feet to just floating planks of wood that he ripped off. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna do anything that it takes. What about like standing on a boat? I mean, not that.
Look, it's a personal health choice to leave the boat. I think the boat is all just a game. They're all just trying to control us. I want freedom. I'm all about personal choices, so I'm going to use the remnants of the destroyed boat, strap them to my feet. Oh shit, I've lost my balance. I'm upside down. I can no longer overturn myself. I have no
Noah,
strength
help
to
me
do
out.
so.
Noah, please don't let me die here. Noah, please don't.
My antlers are tangled in some seaweed. I can't get them out.
Oh god, that's not seaweed. It's the corpses of all the people that I killed when I ripped apart the boat.
The corpses of all the animals that just fucking sunk like immediately. God. Yeah. Fuck the Vikings. but even more so this year.
Yeah. I beat The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. And have started playing Resident Evil Village. Woohoo!
Woo! How far are you along?
Man, all these people sure do keep dying on Ethan.
Why does everyone keep dying on him? Dude. I don't know if you've seen the video game Donkey video for Resident Evil 8. Like, maybe don't. Like, it's got spoilers and shit in it. But, like, yeah, no, he rips apart, like, his terrible one-liners all the time. It's so funny.
But, like, this game also clearly is a lot more camp horror than the previous one. So maybe that's fine. Maybe I'm down for that tone. I don't know. Also, this game, like, fucking goes so hard out of the gate compared to Resident Evil 7. It's... Yeah, go ahead.
Did you ever play Resident Evil 7?
Well, I watched, I think, 90% of your and Jade's playthrough.
Oh, yeah.
So I know all the plot beats, I know the structure, and, like... And the best... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the problem with Resident Evil had always been, like, they made Resident Evil... And then they made Resident Evil 2, both of which were regarded as, like really, really pivotal games in the game industry, especially, like, in the horror genre. Like, just really well-crafted, really tense, like, a lot of good shit going on there. And then the games kept evolving farther away consistently from what made them good, to the point where, like, Resident Evil 5 and 6 were just straight-up third-person shooter action games with very little horror other than you fight monsters. And everyone's like, man, this shit sucks. And then they kind of reinvented the game with Resident Evil 7, brought it back to its roots, but they made it first person, which added a new, whole new shit to it. But, like, Resident Evil 7 was definitely, like, an ode to the original Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil 8 immediately was like, oh man, we rekindled our fire, we figured out what works. Let's inch away from that. Like, Resident Evil, you can see Resident Evil 8 was still really good.
Right.
But, like, you can see they're getting back into the, like, what if we just made it more action-y? And, like, remove some of the tension there. And you can tell, like, yeah, Resident Evil 9 is going to be just a shooter. Like, come on.
Oh, God, I hope not. But yeah, I think the best point of comparison I can make to demonstrate this is in Resident Evil 7... There is... This is actually really great game design where you can, like, the second you get in the house, you can get a shotgun. However, the shotgun is in a cage where if you pick up the shotgun, you're locked in the cage and can't leave and can't do anything with it. So you have to put it back down on a mechanism so you can walk around, and then it's a whole optional puzzle trying to get, like, a busted shotgun so you can use that as a replacement weight. And then you have this optional, really powerful shotgun for the rest of the game. Resident Evil 8, you pick up a shotgun like 20 minutes into the game and use it immediately to kill half a dozen werewolves.
Yeah, and if you don't find it, you can just buy it with money from a dude who sells shit. Like, there's very little puzzling going on in Resident Evil 8. And there were some really fun puzzles in Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. Although that's not even what I was thinking of when I was thinking, like, this game goes hard out of the gate. What I was thinking of was Ethan's wife, Mia, just getting massacred.
Yeah.
Just
3 minutes into the game.
3 minutes into the game. Hail of gunfire. Dead.
Oh, that woman that you spent the entirety of the previous game saving? Dead immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that doesn't make it bad.
Not at all.
Wow.
I'm enjoying
Very pointed, huh?
Oh, wow. Okay, I see where my agreement might end up, where that could be extrapolated to, and I don't know if
You've
I'm cool
been
with
entrapped,
that.
Lucas. You're on my side now in terms of The Last of Us 2.
And then I guess just one other stray thought that I really like about this game is that in the church you get the church, which I think is like the first or second save point you get to in the game after you get to the village. There's like a shrine to the lords of this village, all the weird monster people. Lady D is the only one who like that's a headshot of her that you could like identify. Oh yeah, this is who this person is from this picture in the shrine. Everyone else is weird or has their face obstructed, and I don't know why, but that's hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
Also cannot wait to see what other fucked up shit this game does to Ethan Winters' hands. Whoever made this game has either a kink or a phobia, and they are here for this man having his hands just beaten to shit.
Yeah, no, you haven't seen anything yet.
I think I remember a plot point from 7 being that, like, he could heal up super easily because he had, like, a part of the mold virus injected into him or something like that. Is that still what's going on here? Because, like, he's pouring chemicals onto his, like, half-eaten hand, and that's what's healing him.
It's just the chemicals. It's just a healing juice. They never explain it. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, yeah, really interested to keep going through this game and then play it after Skyward Sword, because these two games share a lot of similar design. You're essentially in a hub world going to different dungeons, beating those dungeons, and then unlocking more things in the hub world. And yeah, I can't wait to see the Resident Evil interpretation of that idea rather than the Skyward Sword interpretation, which was a little lackluster for me. And I believe that'll take us into the group chat. Do we want to talk about Rick and Morty or Free Guy first?
Doesn't matter to me.
I don't know. We just talked about something I liked for a little while, so let's talk about something that I didn't really super like for a little while. Free Guy. Strong opening half that kind of gets too big for its britches in the second half, I think. Is that fair, Ryan?
I couldn't even divide it into halves. I thought it was just so remarkably inconsistent. I was impressed with how I could laugh and be like, wow, that was genuinely clever. I enjoyed that. And then just get my fucking heart ripped out by pure Hello Fellow Kids material. It was fucking whiplash how quickly you could go from one to the other. God.
Yeah, the writing, wildly inconsistent. Andrew, you're making a detective novel. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Do you think it's good writing to never have your central protagonist interact with the central antagonist of your story? Is that a cool thing to do? Because that's what this movie does.
I mean, it's not expressly a bad thing. I think it'd probably be really hard to do well. To just have, at that point you kind of have to do the, it's just pure good versus pure evil. And they don't interact because there's nothing reconcilable there.
What if pure evil was Taika Waititi, but he didn't write the role for himself, so he's really cringy, and every single joke that he says literally doesn't land at all.
Jesus.
Yeah. Then what would you say then? Does that work?
I would say no.
Yeah. That was fucking rough, man.
I don't know.
Andrew,
his character was awful.
Andrew,
his character should have been cut from the movie. Someone should have said,
boy.
Nah, let's just...
It's not necessary. Taika Waititi's the antagonist of the film. Who is he? What is his character? Is he just a player?
He's
the president of Blizzard.
He's the game developer who made the game that they all play in, who also stole, a couple, the co-lead and her coder friend's game.
Yeah.
and that's why Free Guy is able to become Free
Self-aware.
Guy.
Yeah.
Is because of their game code that's in the game that he stole. So then, yeah, and he also does a flip, because at first he's like, yeah, love it, woo. He doesn't get introduced until probably around the midway point.
Right.
Like, it takes a while for him to even show up. And then once he does get introduced, he's on board with Free Guy for a while. Like, he's like, yeah, cool. People are talking about it. We're trending. This is fucking sick. Let's make money. And then it's not until like the very end where he's like, all right, fuck this. Fuck Free Guy. I hate him now.
Cool.
I know, I don't know, man. It's pretty soulless. It's pretty like corporate, like zingers, and yeah.
It's also like,
are you gonna watch it, Andrew?
No, I never had any
Yeah.
interest in this movie.
Got it. I did. So yeah, it was a bit of a letdown for me.
Sorry, bud.
it's also like,
Whatever.
Taika Waititi's character is just like asshole new age corporate boss, and not the specific kind of asshole gamer boss that is increasingly in the news lately.
No, they just made him a guy that wears jeans, graphic t-shirts, and blazers, and oh no.
How about a guy wearing full Ezio Auditore robes
Yeah.
into work? They make references to sexual harassment / assault lawsuits.
Really?
A little bit, yeah. Okay.
There's definitely like that's coded pretty firmly into that character, that he's just an asshole in every way.
Fair. Andrew, let me ask you this. Do you think at this exact moment in time, an Alex Trebek cameo would be seen as tasteful or tacky?
Oh no! Please tell me. Please tell me they didn't have an Alex Trebek cameo.
It was supposed to be released a while ago.
Oh,
yeah.
They didn't cut it.
No.
They didn't cut it.
No.
In spite of there being cameos from all of your favorite streamers, Andrew.
No.
We're talking Ninja.
No.
We're talking Jacksepticeye.
Fuck.
We're talking Pokimane. We're talking
Yeah.
Laserbeam. We're talking Dan TDM. We got all of them. And they're not just in it once. They come in. They probably make 5 or 6 different commentary tracks per streamer. They got Laserbeam in studio to commentate over one part.
Jesus Christ.
You would also think that people who are on camera 24/7 would maybe be better at acting?
No.
Like,
No, they're not. They're just...
Oh.
their personalities. Like, it's literally so much the opposite. And it's so like hello fellow kids when they come in. It's just, they're like, there's a guy in a free city who's just doing good things? What? And it's just like, that's like a meme that's what you do when you get bored in like a open world game, is you start just being a good person and like following the rules and stuff. Like thousands and thousands of people around the world.
Yeah, no, I want all the like GTA RP, like real life role play guys to make cameos in Free Guy, and that's it. I just want some players walking around like, I think I'll get a cup of coffee, go and hit the tennis courts, maybe file my taxes.
It's so out of touch. It's insane. Like, it's, and the MacGuffin of the first half of the movie, which is apparently the half that Lucas liked, is a clip. It's a video clip.
Yep.
That like a streamer recorded, but somehow it's only in the game.
Yeah.
Even though a streamer recorded it and gave commentary over, like when they actually watched the clip, he's like, yeah, so here it is. Here's this mysterious, weird world that I can see. It's like a glitch. Oh, this is weird. But like, he was streaming that. Like, how is that clip not just out there on the internet? Like, there's no way that would only exist inside the game world, which would be, in theory, the only thing that the company could control, where they could remove the clip. Like,
and it's like even further undercutting the plot of the movie. Like, they need to get this MacGuffin so they can prove that their code is in the game. But then they say, oh my god, Guy, he's self-aware because, like, this game is clearly based on our code. Look at how much larger his code is. And you have your code being implemented in the game. Like, you had screenshot that shit, sent it to a court. I don't...
Right. The moment of darkness or whatever, right before, when it all comes over, is when they reboot the server. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, well, we'll reboot him, and then he'll lose all that code. And by the way, that's a guy who's redeemed in the end, who says that. He's like, I'm going to kill this sentient life form that exists inside a game, the first ever actual artificial intelligence. I'm going to kill him by resetting the whole game. They do that. And then they refuse to do it again for the remaining 20 minutes as, like, Free Guy is, like, fighting with them and, like, punching people, and they're trying to stop him by, like, destroying servers, and it's like, reboot it again. Like, and they're like, oh, you're gonna take the extreme step of fucking booting everyone off the game? All the players, you're gonna boot them? I'm like, Warzone's down, like, every week.
Yeah.
It's down for hours for no reason whatsoever. Like, that's not a big deal in modern gaming.
Games like
it's
Escape
fine.
from Tarkov and, like, Hunt Showdown, games where the entire premise is you grind really hard to get special gear that you can then take from one game match to the other. Like, every 2 or 3 months have, like, reboot day, where all of that is deleted and everyone has to start from scratch.
And from my understanding, it wasn't even deleting anything. It was just kicking them off the server.
Yeah.
Like, literally just, like, down for maintenance. And the whole world fucking freaked out. Like, and then somehow they were live streaming an NPC's perspective.
Right.
Like, the whole thing, and then there were people in Africa watching the live stream on CRTs.
Oh, dude.
They tried to do the Truman Show thing, and it did not work.
It was, there was so much cringe that it just overwhelmed the, like, positive parts. And yeah, the part of the movie that I think most people are going to point to as their most enjoyable part is when he fucking pulls out Captain America's shield in a big fight and the fucking Avengers music starts playing.
Oh.
And then his hand is a Hulk hand and he punches the guy really hard. And then he pulls out a lightsaber and the Star Wars theme starts playing. Which has to be reshoots, right? Like, that the movie was in development and was shooting before the merger. Like, it just fucking strong-armed that in.
Can fucking fix that, but not Alex Trebek.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So.
Fuck. Fun conceit. There's definitely a better version of this movie out there, but it was just...
The writer was the writer of Ready Player One.
The movie?
Really?
So, yeah. So that's a reason.
And then, there were like 3 different, like, main thematic takeaways from this movie of, like, yeah, you can be whoever you want to be. You can break the cycles of your life, and yeah, don't let big business keep you down. You can succeed, and you don't have to be defined by capitalism. And also, like, hey man, like, relationships, like, they happen out of nowhere and are beautiful, and you just gotta be there for people. And, like, it was
original
odd.
IP is inherently, like, valuable, and using just the same established IP over and over to churn out money is evil. Like, but then it's a fucking Disney movie where the fucking Captain America's shield and shit comes out. Like, how do they not realize the irony there? Like, and also, by the way, I feel like Taika Waititi's character's not necessarily in the wrong. Like, how did he steal their game it sounds like he bought their game.
Yeah.
Right? He bought their game from them and then shelved it because he didn't think it would succeed, and they got real mad about that. And then somehow it was illegal for him to use the game he bought in another game? I don't think that's a thing, right? Like, if you buy a game, you can repurpose all of its IP, I imagine.
Like, yeah, man, I bought these assets from you, and I used them to my whim.
Right. Like, the whole time they were just like, and then he had to like make a deal that like, oh yeah, sure, you can keep your original IP, I get all the sequel rights and stuff like that. That's the deal I'm making. And I'm like, I don't know why you need to make that deal. Like, I get it, he's in the wrong, he's a bad person, but like, legally, from a legal standpoint, I don't know how he's not allowed to use the thing he bought. Just because he didn't release it in the way you intended him to. If you sold it to him as a product, like, that he now owns the IP, I don't understand.
We're firmly in bashing territory right now, which, to the movie's credit, like I said, really loved the first half. Special effects, fantastic. Ryan Reynolds showed up as an actor. That's all great. This is also a movie where after a character gives a big impassioned speech about how, I have this player support job because, man, a lot of student debt, not doing too great. My life's kind of in bad shape. And then when we see when it cuts to his apartment, he is living in just the most lavish 1 or 2 bedroom apartment by himself, and in what is very clearly either Seattle or Vancouver, and like, sure,
San Francisco
or San Francisco,
he's living in an expensive fucking area, and it's the meme of like, oh, someone please help, like, my family's starving, just here's my expenses, can you help me balance my budget? And it's just like, food, $200 a month, electricity, $70 a month, rent, $4,000 a month. So it's just like, maybe live somewhere where rent's cheaper. Just that's non-negotiable. Yeah, I gotta stay in the same spot.
Someone who's good at the economy, help me out.
So that's Free Guy, which will almost certainly be somewhere in our 2021 top 10s. Just by virtue of being a movie that released this year that we saw.
I don't put movies that don't
on
belong
there,
man. That's not going to be on my list.
Oh, maybe a top 5 this year.
I might even fight you on that being included. So.
But then there was also Rick and Morty, the last.
Ryan just went blurry.
Camera.
Yeah, okay, that's everyone's then, not okay. Thank God. I thought I was losing you again.
It
okay.
just decided to focus on something else. Yeah, it's focused like really up close.
Oh.
I don't know. This isn't interesting for the podcast people.
Weird.
It like decided to focus like right in front of it instead of just me. Okay.
Oh well, Ryan doesn't have details.
But then there was the 8th episode of season 5 of Rick and Morty, the last 22-minute length episode of this season. There's going to be a 1-hour special in September. But yeah, what did we think of this one?
So fucking good.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
Conflict.
Oh, I thought it was.
Hell yeah,
I thought
man.
it was really mediocre.
No, man, that shit was fucking great. This was the second best episode of the season, and it's close to the Narnia one.
Wow.
Ryan likes the lore. I gotta give it to you. Or was it a different element that it nailed for you?
Yeah, the lore is really cool.
No, I liked
they told the story expertly, and I had a lot of fun.
I liked the lore. I thought that part was fun. I just felt it was kind of like just one joke being told over and over again. I hated the garage thing. I thought the garage bit sucked ass. And then like the
garage bit was really small.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like,
to be fair, that was a very minuscule part.
Right. But then like him finding his memory self, I felt like that was just one joke that just kept being told over and over and over again of like, oh man, I sure was stupid when I was young. Oh man, I really had bad opinions. I don't know.
I don't know if he did. I thought he was idealistic, like, and
right.
He was 35, you know, like he was like, oh, this is our fucking Vietnam. We have a Vietnam. I had a lot of fun with that. I really enjoyed his.
Your priorities are wrong.
Yeah, no, it's like your values are wrong. You know that, right?
That's fucking so fun. Like I really enjoyed like all of the like anachronicities of it being Bird Person's memory of Rick at that age. So he just kind of remembers him as a smart person, not as Rick. And like the portal gun being really shitty because Bird Person doesn't know what a fucking portal gun is. Like it's made of like twigs and shit. Like. And then it doesn't go anywhere, but he knows it's like an impenetrable thing, so they use it as like a shield. Like that's fucking cool. Like I don't know, they had some really interesting ideas and stuff, and I really enjoyed all of it.
And it was like sweet that the explanation of young Rick asking, "Well, wait, if I'm just a memory, how am I aware that all of this is happening right now?" And then the answer is, because Bird Person is a good friend and remembers me as smart enough to know what would be going on in a situation like this. Like that.
Right.
That's good writing. That's like these two characters actually have a connection when one of them was introduced as a one-off joke in the first season. That's pretty good.
The fucking lore, man. Holy shit, dude. Diane's probably canon now. Like
yeah, I know because
canon.
He said like, oh, his daughter is dead. His daughter died.
No, Beth is canonically dead, 100%.
Yeah, and he just then went to another universe where she wasn't, and shacked up with, the family.
Yeah, well, went to a universe where she was abandoned. Yeah. You're one of those sick fucks who goes to abandoned Beths. Yeah, our daughter's dead, get over it, and stuff like that. Yeah, no, like, and that makes so much credence to the Diane theory. The voice actress, here's the thing, because why it was probably included, the whole garage bit. The voice actress for Diane is the voice actress for his car and the garage.
Wait, which one? Wait, the voice actress for Diane, when has Diane ever, like, appeared?
In the fake origin story, which is now potentially a real origin story in the Szechuan sauce episode, where he takes the what are those aliens called? I don't know, the Federation alien to his memory, and like it's you think maybe it's a ruse, but now it's turning out that I don't know. It seems more and more likely that he was using a real life smokescreen, like that's his real origin story, and it seems like him staying was what killed Beth, like he's going to forever live with that guilt that his daughter and wife died because he stayed and like was selfish. And if he would have left and let them be, they would have all survived and everything. So I don't know, man. I thought it was fucking deep and fun shit, man.
What are your knocks against it, Andrew? What didn't you like about it?
I didn't like the car.
What? No.
And didn't like the joke with 35-year-old.
No. Yeah, I mean, I already said it. I just kind of felt like the jokes didn't always land, and it was kind of just one joke repeated many times, and it just, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was a very, like, meh episode. What was another one?
I think I ignored the jokes. I think the jokes weren't.
Yeah, no, I
enjoyed
the lore, but like, I don't know. I enjoy reading the environmental storytelling in video games. That doesn't mean it was a good episode of Rick and Morty.
It is for me. Dude, the fucking canon of they explained away why Gearhead hung out with Rick even though he's a fucking drag. Like, once again, that's a one-off joke, is that Rick's trying to pawn Morty off on Gearhead. They explained why. It's because Gear Dude was a fucking badass and they all loved him, but he died, and Gear Dude is Gearhead is his little brother. Gear Dude is the one that died. And so they just kind of tolerate Gearhead because they feel bad that their best friend fucking died and left Gearhead completely alone. Like, and then why Gearhead turns on him because he doesn't actually have a connection to Rick. Like, he's literally just tolerated, and he probably knows it. Like, it's kind of fucking
I did
awesome.
Like the squanchy stand-up bit where the one Rick was like, wait, god damn it, I'm a memory, I just sat through this shit for nothing, god damn.
And that's at Bird Flappers, the comedy club, which is literally 2 blocks that way from me, Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank. Like, I'm like, holy shit, dude, Bird Flappers. I know exactly what they're referencing. Like, it's amazing. Everyone's Squanchy's stand-up face.
You're squanching, and she's really getting in there.
Right. What about the joke with fucking about Shrek?
I don't think I remember a Shrek joke.
You don't remember Shrek's? He was explaining to 35-year-old Rick the concept of Shrek and how Morty really loves them, and like he's like, and they've made 3 of these. He's like 4, probably 5 by now. Like, just,
I don't remember that at all.
The ogre. I don't know, man. It was gold. It was absolute gold. They really went for it. Like, it was fun. I enjoyed it so much. In a completely different way from the Narnia episode. Although I did like the Narnia episode a lot for the lore, like for the storytelling of like the pocket universe progressing and like following around with Rick. And that's why I call it the Narnia episode and not the Mr. Nimbus episode. Not that I didn't enjoy Mr. Nimbus, but yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it too. On the whole, I've definitely liked this season, which I think might be a little bit of a break from you guys. But then, yeah, we're getting a lot of really solid different flavors of Rick and Morty this season. And I'm cool with that, but I think that's why a lot of people have found the whole of the season to be pretty divisive. Because, yeah, you got weird Rick and Morty, you got building up lore Rick and Morty, you got really great sci-fi writing Rick and Morty. You got the Hellraiser episode, which I don't think anybody really cared for, but it's there.
But it exists.
It's fine. It's a middle ground, I guess. Yeah.
I think I'm so on board with what you said, Lucas, that this was like a one-off character that was just kind of a joke that he was so shitty and boring. And like they explained the beacon, like they like literally just like, yeah, I'm gonna use that shit all the time, man. But then they did, and like Bird Person is fucking like on Rick's level. Bird Person's a peer, you know, like he's one of the only people that Rick sees as a peer, and that's really interesting to me. And like Bird Person's like he fucking cut through Rick like a hot knife through butter, like at the end where he's just like, you knew that like my daughter existed, and you only brought her up as a last resort. Because you knew that would also you'd be losing me that way as well to like fatherhood. Like you wanted me to be the person that you wanted me to be, like at the end of Battle of Blood Gulch, where we would just hang out all the time. And when that finally failed as a last resort, you brought up the thing that you thought would actually bring me back. Like that was like shit. Yeah, man. Like he is a peer, and that's interesting. Like I love those moments, like in the Pickle Rick episode when the therapist is actually on par with Rick. That's interesting, you know, like when they write a character who's able to, you know, go toe to toe. That's fun. So
I agree.
Yeah.
And then
I had so much fun, man. Beginning to end, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be a ride. When he's just like the likelihood of another Pickle Rick adventure increases exponentially when you guys leave. And he just fucked off. Like none of the other family members at all.
There's no B plot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Garage, a little bit of a B plot, but that was more, that was more of an opening and closing thing.
The garage was a C plot. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't pay us to think, Phil.
Oh, so you're like a Jarvis situation? Oh, I wish.
She is just genuinely trying to be friends with him. Like, that is kind of funny. Like, I was meh on it. I don't think I hated it as much as you, Andrew, but there were moments where I was like, at first I thought, you know, like, oh, she's just trying to use him. But then there's moments where she is kind of like, I mean, I could use a friend. I don't
Do you have any battery?
Yeah, I'm trying to get power supplies so that I can live in case Rick dies. But, like, also make a friend. Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to do it. I think that was just about going to do it for episode 152 of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast. which will almost certainly be titled Free Guy Came at a Cost? Does that work? I don't think we had any good quotes this episode that make for a good title. I'm scrambling a little bit. Any suggestions? Oh boy, they might have stopped recording already. Fuck. Okay, it's just me. It's my time. It's my time down here. Thank you all so much for listening. If you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, where we got a brand spanking new highlight clip. Follow us on Twitter at V2_podcast for updates. Email us your questions and business opportunities, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. Blue link in the description if you want to help a collection of great progressive causes. Support us on Patreon if you want to help us keep the lights on and join the likes of the terrific Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, and sensual Richard Nixon. Of course, now that we're on Anchor, you can also give us money directly through the Anchor podcast platform. I uploaded a new video to my YouTube channel, a video essay to my blog, Bada Bing Bada Blog, all about why Final Space Season 3 sucks and how it fits into the kind of larger trend of, creatives today, or maybe always, online creatives at least, just using authenticity and their genuine selves as a means to pursue career goals in a way that's weird and kind of disheartening. But yeah, I'm proud of that video. Check it out if you don't mind. I'll link to that as well. More importantly, though, have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. Have a great whatever amount of time it is before you tune in to our next episode, which hopefully isn't very long, but if it is, no worries. Good luck out there.